Hi Sarah, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. What did you come to visit us for today?
I came in the G-Wagon today.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is daily.
No,
Every day.
unfortunately not. I wish I could handle it, but it's too much of a big boy for me.
Porsche suits you much better.
Yeah, I love the Porsche. To be honest, the 911 is the best car in the world for me.
We have this argument all the time,
Okay,
using
we're
a
on the same
911
page.
as a
We're on the
daily.
same
Yeah.
page. Not gonna
I
disagree.
literally
Best
tell them.
car, easy to drive, great everyday car, and also it's super fast and it handles really well. So yeah.
Yes, I've driven your car before. I know it
Yeah.
goes well.
It's good, it's good.
It's a great car to drive.
Yeah.
So you want to use a 911 as a daily?
Yeah.
Lebo's favorite car is an M2.
Oh, nice.
So now,
I don't know what it is. There's just something, there's just something about this car. And I know it looks a bit, it's one of those cars in photos you're like,
Yeah.
Then when you see it more often, it starts to grow in you.
Yeah, I want to see it up close and personal to judge for real by myself.
okay, wait, let's actually have a look at the one we've got here. Black. This is also my favorite color.
Yeah, love
I know
black.
black's your favorite color as well.
Always. Like you just get to see all the lines and the detailing and it just looks so much more sexy. And to be honest, for me, black, every car just looks good in black.
Well,
Yeah. Agreed.
So for those of you who don't know, Sarah has a Porsche. The car was white.
Yeah.
We wrapped it black and we made her wheels black and we made her calipers red. And the car just looks so mean. You would never say it was white before, and obviously she still
Yeah.
loves it. She's got it, how many years later? We're like 5 years later.
Yeah,
5 years.
yeah.
Still got the 911,
Yeah.
still use it as a daily.
And I still have the wrap on from 5 years ago.
And you've looked after it.
I have actually, like, I got the self-healing wrap, which is great because, like, I mean, unfortunately, I do fit the girl stereotype. I am like scratching it quite often. So it's nice to have that comfort to know that, like, if I just get like a little scratch, it like does its own thing in the sun. So yeah,
Have you thought
it looks good.
Have you thought of taking it on a track day?
I actually have.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
Jeez,
I
okay.
have, and I always feel so bad because, like,
Wait,
to
don't
be
tell your
honest-
insurance that. You know?
I mean, my thing is like, it's a car that I feel like I'll always love, so I don't want to abuse it.
It's built for a
So
little bit of-
I know,
Yeah.
I do kind of push it to its limits, but I still like have a moment where I have to like say my sorries and make sure that I don't do it again.
Understood.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you going like 200, 250 on the highway.
No.
Like-
Firstly, it's illegal.
Okay.
Okay, when they stop, I'll just say something.
Okay,
that-
no, we don't condone it. We don't condone
Yeah,
it.
no, I don't do that.
Okay.
Stick to 120. That's,
Yeah. That's how we drive. Yeah, that's how we drive. Just-
Law-abiding citizens.
Yes.
yeah, law-abiding citizens. I don't want to have any criminal records, and yeah, I respect the law.
So I'm guessing you drove the G today based on the weather.
So actually, the reason why I needed the G in my life was because the 911 is just not practical, had no boot space, and I travel quite a bit with work. So just a simple day going grocery shopping was such a mission in the 911. And like I said, it's my baby, it's my first love, and I really hate even just having to like pack bags in the back seat because the boot is too full. So I needed something that was a lot more practical. For me, I mean, the G obviously is a lot of people's faves, but it's not the easiest car for me to drive, especially with my new injury. So like in comparison to the 911, it's the handling's not the same. I get the convenience of the space and having my friends all fit in the car, but it's still
like,
not my preference.
So
on
my
an
favorite
everyday
part
car.
of the G is you wake up in the morning, just hear it start. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I've had this argument with Yash several times, and I do like the G, but in terms of just the simple thing of coming in and out.
I just want to drive the G-Wagon and play Rick. I just want to play Rick Ross and I'm going, you know? Like, I just want to be there. Like, that's me.
To be honest, I used to go to gym 5 days a week. Now I've limited it to 3 because getting in and out of the G is a workout for me. Literally, I have to like a whole obstacle course. Especially in heels, it's not cute.
Okay, so as a female who's very involved in fashion and where you are, so what would you pick as your most, let's say, practical vehicle?
So, I mean, I'm more of a classic girl. I love cars for its performance, but also is the interior of a car is everything to me. And I think my ultimate dream car would be like a Bentley Continental GT. Like I am
Continental, okay.
obsessed with the Bentley Continental. Just the fact that like the interiors are insane. Like
Okay.
I think it's one of the best cars that focuses on interiors, like the quality of the leather, even the finishes. It's just super classical. It's also one of those cars that I believe I'd keep forever. And yeah, I think also like it's a fast car as well. Like, drives really well.
So the theme
Not
I'm
as
getting
good
from
as the
this is you want
911.
fast cars. You don't want something slow.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is it's not necessarily like about driving 250 kilometers per hour. It's more the torque, like how fast can it go from like here to there, you know?
You and Lebo can join each other racing the GTIs at robot to robot. Like, you know what?
Yeah, I'll take it easy on the highway,
Yeah.
but as long as I can move. Yeah,
When you're in a rush,
exactly.
I want to get to my destination.
Then just fly. It's much better than.
Because that's when the adrenaline really kicks in. Like
Yeah.
when you feel
Robot to
that
robot.
force inside, that G-force inside, it's different. Like it's different from driving 250 kilometers on the highway, you know?
Not fair. Sometimes you
Yeah.
don't even feel it.
You don't,
Exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Let's rewind. You just turned 18. What was your favorite car and the car you wanted the most at that time?
Crazy. It was the Range Rover Sports.
Range Rover Sport?
Really?
Yeah, when I was actually, funny story, when I was 18, I went to Range Rover and applied for a job just so that I could drive their company cars, and I got the job. I got the job.
did you get it?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
like, I mean, the first couple of months working there, never got to drive company cars because
Oh.
I couldn't even get insurance. But when I turned 19, my first company car was like an Evoque, and then eventually got to drive a Sports. So like, that was so major. Like, imagine 19, 20 driving a Range Rover Sports.
Oh, so Lebo used to work at Merc also. So
Yeah.
he had the pleasure of driving all these
Yeah.
fancy
It was
Mercs.
nice. It was nice. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
And also, to some extent, also you get it out your system.
Exactly.
But you know that thing. You know you're like young
Yeah.
and you're working in the motor industry and you're like rocking up in a nice car. And then there's people much older than you trying to figure out like, how
Like,
is this
what
person
does he do?
What does he do?
driving this car?
Yeah. Like I remember my friends from like high school and varsity just being so hyped because I would like pick them up in a Range Rover Sport. Like it really gave me street cred.
Oh, no, definitely. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that was my dream car at 18. I got to fulfill it, over it, done. Now we're on to bigger and better things.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Congrats. Big up. We're all the way up. We keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
And then vision board after the G and the 911. What's there?
So besides the Bentley Continental GT, which I feel like would be a more responsible choice, deep inside of me, my vision board has a Ferrari 812 Superfast. I was so fortunate to be able to go to Italy to go to the actual launch of the first Superfast
Oh, wow, okay.
ever launched in the world. And I didn't get it in the beginning because, I mean, I didn't know what car it was replacing, and I also didn't really understand much about the brand. But now after a couple of years and seeing them obviously relaunch a new one, and like, it's one of my favorite cars. I think from a performance level, it does what it needs to do. It's probably one of the fastest cars in the market right now. I think so.
812, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
quick, especially when you do modifications.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
But you don't need to. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing, what Ferrari came out now, you've got the hypercar, and then it's, what is the F12? No, not the F12, the one after that, which is a bit faster. But that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah, like I remember getting into it and we like literally drove around the track.
Oh,
in
did
the
you take it on the
factory,
track as well?
Like in the factory, like it was crazy, like straight out of the factory on the track. It was honestly, I think, one of the most insane experiences in my life. So that is on my vision board. To be
Okay.
able to own one of those and just kind of drive it around on a Saturday when you need that like energy kick for the weekend. And it just also looks like a strong car.
It's
the,
beautiful.
The
Such a
build of
beautiful
it,
car.
like it's really, I think, one of my most favorite aesthetically looking Ferrari cars that have ever been launched. It looks strong. It's the lines on it. It's just really nice. It's spacious, also comfortable inside in comparison to all the other ones like the F12. So yeah, one of my faves.
Of course, in the sound as well.
Yeah, oh my God. Like I hear you saying like starting the G-Wagon in the morning, but like starting the 812 in the
no,
morning,
it's-
that wakes up your neighbors
But
and
now
your
this
neighbors'
is
neighbors, the whole
apples and
community.
oranges. Yeah. Apples and oranges.
Yeah,
You're not being fair.
Yeah,
so if
yeah,
we're
yeah.
going Ferrari, then I'm going to pick a Lambo. I'll go like,
Yeah,
like a Revelto.
you like extravagant things.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had this argument the last time, so it was like Turbo GT or Urus. I'm like, I'll take a Urus over a Turbo GT.
I'd
But
also
you-
take a Urus.
Oh, okay, find me someone who agrees with me.
Yeah.
Fine. I like something that's quick, great performance,
Yeah.
but it doesn't scream for attention.
Yeah.
Nice and subtle. See how Aston Martin, like you could drive past the Aston Martin and not notice it because it's not in your face.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like cars like that that are. just
I also
simple.
think it's a spec thing. Like I've seen Uruses that are low key because of just the color combination, how people have spec'd it. So and then I've seen really loud ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really depends on the person.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How was your experience? Sorry, how was your experience with like the whole automotive space with all the traveling you're doing? So what was it like
Yeah.
in all the different countries?
So it's so interesting because I feel like South Africa is one of the places that like I've been to, that I've lived in, that has the most diverse automotive experience. Like this is the one place where you can kind of get like normal cars, supercars, like you drive on the road, especially Johannesburg, and you see everything.
You'll see everything.
Yeah,
I
which is
completely
so
agree.
cool. There's not that many places. I mean, Dubai maybe is close to that, but there's a lot more supercars and like, you know, fast cars that you see. But I feel like Joburg is like, it's such an interesting place because you get to see a great mix, but it's not as like pretentious, it's more authentic, it's more like the cars match the people, do you know?
Okay.
So you can tell like people who drive around in fancy cars actually kind of own the cars. So
Yeah.
where Dubai it's like a mismatch, it's like...
You don't have to
know,
own the car, they're renting it.
Exactly, yeah. And then also just like I lived in London for 3 years, literally just moved back in November. So that was also really interesting, just getting to understand how people's choices in cars is also dependent on the cities they live in, the infrastructure and what is convenient for like the lives that they live. So it's not necessarily only about like the look and feel and what people actually like in cars, but more about the convenience of what the car can offer them in their environment. So that was really crazy to see because firstly, parking is a mission in London. Like also theft is so big. Like people don't really understand how like crime is so bad in Europe. Like driving around in an SUV is not safe at all. Like people
they target you immediately.
Yeah, they target you immediately. Like I basically had a friend's Bentayga for a week and like the car got broken into and I had my luggage inside and they took all my luggage. So just making those small decisions on like your car choices can impact, you know, what you putting yourself in risk of and like, yeah, and the life you now need to live. Like now if you have like an SUV Range Rover, you can't drive into central London because it's like unsafe.
It's too much attention.
Yeah.
We've seen all those videos of those phone snatchers
Yes,
Yeah.
in London. It's so
Yeah,
crazy,
it's
how
crazy.
obviously
And then you go to like Italy and like everyone's driving these like really small cars because like
The
I mean
roads
the
are narrow.
infrastructure was like built in a time when there were no cars that even existed. Like people want carriages and horses. So like you can't have a fancy car because you literally can't even drive it on the road. So yeah, that's like super
that's
interesting.
so interesting
see.
to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, last question from my side. Would you ever drive an electric car? Based on the cars that you like, would you ever drive an electric car?
Look, one of my best friends drives a BMW i8 and I get it looks so fancy, it suits her so much, but like just not hearing it start messes with me.
No, also when you're driving, there's no.
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously I'm all for the environment and like I appreciate the purpose of like why electric cars are a thing. But I also feel like if you treat cars as a form of happiness, like a hobby, like for me, cars are not only about getting to A to Z and like getting to my, it's a passion for me. Like I want to get into a car and I enjoy every minute of the ride. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna save the planet in other ways, hopefully.
So there's something I want to show you quickly. So actually, we can take a walk through. So Dart does all of our wrapping.
Yeah.
So exactly like what you're saying. She thought your job was easy. It's just sticking things on.
Yeah, I was like, I could do this myself. Just give me the stickers.
It's fine, just the confidence. Everything is
Listen, in life you have to be confident, hey?
Oh, by the way, let's actually touch on that quickly whilst we're here. How do you feel about the Chinese cars in the market?
So I was in China a few weeks ago. Yeah, I think like 3 weeks ago. And it was such a crazy experience because like, China is really advanced.
Oh no,
it's one of the best places I've ever been to,
Okay.
like in terms of technology, but also nothing is recognizable. Like you go to the mall and you don't see any brand you recognize.
Okay.
Like you don't, but like there's no compromise on quality. There's like, I mean, you can go to like just a normal fashion store mall and go into like a normal store. Everything, number one, is super affordable. but like there's no compromise like on quality of the clothing, on quality of anything that you buy, and like even the cars, I couldn't recognize any of the cars. Like we were sitting in a car, it was all fancy, it kind of looked like, you know, those like V classes that are like really specced up inside, like you have the heated
Probably have their own
seats,
Chinese version.
but it was like not a Merc, but it looked like it, you know. So I find it very interesting. Like, I mean, I don't think I've owned a Chinese car before.
No, we wouldn't expect you to. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but we just wanted your opinion.
It's really nice.
So the reason why I bring it up is, so this car essentially is a new car that's into the market. These cars are going at like 400, 450K. So like from a price point, they've become so popular compared to, you've got a BMW here, which is, they're essentially the same car, they're in the same segment. This is half the price, which is why these cars have blown up. So we've been getting a lot of work on these type of cars. So we do like blackouts, body kits, a wrap here and there, and it's been really huge in the market. Obviously, completely different to what we were talking about earlier with like Bentleys and Ferraris, but I mean, this is catered for a lot more people as well. Let's take a walk that way. He wants to carry on working. Would you wrap your car in matte?
Yeah, I was actually considering re-wrapping the 911. I feel like I need a change, but I don't want to do anything else but black. So since I had the gloss, then...
We could go matte black on the 911, definitely.
Yeah, I would love to see how it's going to look, more than anything.
Done a matte black 911. I don't
seen one on the road, it does look good.
Yeah?
It does look good, yeah.
Okay. Because she's got the black wheels and the red caliper, so I think it could work, definitely.
Yeah. And the wheels are gloss. I think it could.
So this is actually not a wrap. So this is matte PPF.
Oh.
So the car's normally gloss.
Yeah.
And then we've just, you're familiar with what PPF is, right? PPF is paint protection film.
Okay.
So it's like that clear film they put on the cars to stop like stone chips, scratches, all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
so this one's actually
normally
matte.
you have it clear, right?
Yes. Oh, well, gloss.
Gloss.
This is clear, but just a matte version.
Okay, I understand.
So
that's so smart.
Yeah, it just gives them a completely different look, this whole matte look, and we work from there.
But then would the matte wrap version also have the same kind of look, or would it look more matte?
Very well, you can obviously pick different types. So we can get something which is like closer to matte, a satin. We can go completely different types. Let me grab a swatch, I'll show you.
Because this looks in between like a satin and a matte. I don't know how to describe it.
So let me grab one, I'll show you. So if we're looking, so obviously if you're going different colors on a wrap, you've got here. So you see different colors on matte, we'd look somewhere here.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, maybe coffee brown gloss.
Well, if you want to do something different, why not?
It's the color of the season in fashion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, coffee brown.
Okay. Have you done like any cool shoots like with cars and fashion?
So a couple of months ago, I did a campaign with BMW for the XM.
Oh yes, I did see that actually. How was that?
It was so fun because they collaborated with a friend of mine who's a designer, Richie Nisi, and he basically like designed his own version of the XM, and it looks so beautiful. It's such a stunning car, like the lights, just the grille. Like honestly, it's one of my favorites.
Though,
yeah, it is big. It is big, but for me, it's easier to drive than the
G-Wagon.
Yeah, the G-Wagon I feel is really heavy, and even when I put my foot on the accelerator, like I can feel that lag. So I don't enjoy that.
Okay.
Even closing your doors in a G.
Yeah, it's like so violent. I'm a lady, like I don't deserve that.
Okay, no, then we can't get you an armored car. Have you seen?
Oh yeah, wait, armored car, door.
No.
The door is so heavy on those armored cars.
Yeah, the fact that you can't even open your window in an armored car just makes me feel so claustrophobic.
Well, thank you for coming through today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, guys. This is really fun. Next time I'm going to be in the workshop wrapping my own car.
Oh, I think a lot of people would pay to see that.
Yeah. Maybe we should actually create a video where people pay.
Yes.
You need to like subscribe and pay to see me wrapping
Wait, that just sounds like OnlyFans. That's not. Wait.
Are we fully dressed?